Mariners TV is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. Southern Rock at its best. Blackberry Smoke comes to Emerald Queen Casino June 12th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, before you drive, put your phone out of reach and stay focused on the road. And by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Another gorgeous evening here in Seattle. Our Western Washington Toyota Dealers pitching matchup. It's a really fun one. Local product, J.R. Ritchie, his third big league start. Meanwhile, a more seasoned Logan Gilbert, start number 8 on the year, pitching better as of late. Val.
Yeah, the Mariners are hoping he's going to have a very similar outing that he had back in Minnesota against the Twins. He ended up going 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, but just 1 run and 4 strikeouts on 93 pitches. The M's could use that type of performance here against the hot-hitting Atlanta Braves.
Well, hey, watch out, champ. Yeah, it's Walter. Hey, on the other side, you wonder what's going through this young man's mind right now. J.R. Ritchie, one of the top pitching prospects in baseball. He just recently made his major league debut, Val, and now he's pitching against his boyhood team in his boyhood ballpark.
I can't imagine what he must be feeling right now. Having done that to myself when I went back to Yankee Stadium for the very first time, but he's pitching. He's had a really good start for the Atlanta Braves. He's 1-0 with a 2.92 ERA. He's the local product from Bainbridge High School. I heard that his dad flew cross country for that grand opening and wore his high school jersey. Number 1, congrats, Dad, that you could fit in a high school jersey. But number 2, to be able to be there in Washington to support your son and see an amazing moment in his life.
Well, there will be a lot of friends and family of J.R. Ritchie in the ballpark here tonight. Mariners and the Braves coming up next. Mariners TV is brought to you by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Make a play for your health with the Mariners' trusted sports medicine provider. And by your local Ford dealer. Home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. Yeah, the UW women's soccer team of the house. Big Ten champs from a year ago. Manny Acta behind home plate to welcome to the T-Mobile Park. Down to the Ford Sports Desk, and it's been a busy day of roster moves for the Mariners.
It has. You know, for much of last season, Dan Wilson only had 1 lefty to deploy out of the pen. But today we learned that Gabe Spires headed to the IL with shoulder inflammation. Now, Dan said it wasn't too concerning, but that he wanted to make sure he got the time he needed to calm things down. Now, in addition to Ferrer in the pen, there's not 1 but 2 lefties in the pen. Josh Simpson, who was just called up, and Jose Suarez, who was DFA'd by the Braves on Friday, picked up by the Mariners. Cole Wilcox option to Tacoma as part of today's move. Suarez has 21 Ks in 16 1/3 innings of work, but also has 12 walks. So let's see what the Mariners do to refine things with him. Gabe certainly hurts because you've also got Matt Brash down, and of course Cal, guys, not catching his old roommate Logan Gilbert.
Yeah, the bullpen is in a tough spot right now. You've lost 2 critical leverage arms, one on the right side, one on the left. Here is Logan Gilbert, all set to go with tonight's first pitch. And Drake Baldwin takes the first pitch, missing upstairs at 96 miles an hour. And game 1 of 3 with the Braves is underway. Val, Mariners are hoping for some just overall crisper, cleaner baseball than we saw over the last 3 games when the Mariners were swept by the Royals.
Yeah, the offense was a little flat against that in that Royals series. The Royals, they faced some good pitching. You want to tip your hat to that, but you don't always want to give too much credit to the opposing pitching. Mariners came off such a good road trip, and you were thinking there was going to be a lot of momentum once they got home.
Baldwin sends this high and deep out to right center field, and the Braves are picking up where they left off. The hottest lineup in baseball strikes immediately. Drake Baldwin's 9th home run already this year. And it's 1-0 Atlanta.
Yeah, as you look at this Atlanta lineup, it's not just one guy that is on fire. Baldwin came into this game, his last 18 games, hitting .329, scoring 16 runs. And he jumps on this slider right out over the middle part of the plate. And hits it out there into the J-Rod squad area.
That brings up the switch hitter Ozzie Albies. Now, this lineup's no joke right now. Nobody's hotter in baseball through the first month and change of the season. They lead the majors in runs per game. Let's call it 6. They lead in batting average. They lead in WRC plus as well. One of the best home run hitting teams, the second most. And so they can get on base with the singles and the doubles. They can also hit it over the fence. And Walt Weiss, their first-year skipper, is enjoying what he is seeing with a lineup that seems like there's not a single easy out of that.
The other one that they're doing, they're leading baseball, is with runners in the scoring position. They're hitting 300 with a slugging of 477. So they're just kind of hitting it on all cylinders. Ozzie Albies is another one of them. His last 15-game hitting streaks, hitting 421.
The switch hitting second baseman. And he swings and misses on a splitter. Gilbert gets the first out of the ball game. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. That pretty deep arsenal from Logan Gilbert.
And this is what he's going to come at you with. A good four-seam fastball across the top of the zone that he throws at 30% of the time. The slider, splitter, cutter, curveball, and change.
One out, a run in already. Here is Matt Olson. Mariners saw plenty of Olson in the early days of his career. The former Oakland Athletic was then traded over to the Atlanta Braves, and man, has he just continued since joining Atlanta. An all-star last year, a three-time all-star in his career, and a tremendous defensive first baseman as well. 1-1. Now, the Braves come to town with the best record in baseball. It's the best 35-game start for the Braves since they were the Boston Bean Eaters in the late 1800s. This is deep down the line. That really rang a bell with you, I could tell.
Bean Eaters?
The Bean Eaters.
Really?
Would you?
No. I could never have guessed that. Never. Maybe were they growing beans down there, like black beans, red beans, beans?
I think they just liked them all.
Gandules, you know, one of those.
I think it was less gandules and more of the other stuff. That's my guess. But who knows what it was like back in the 1800s. Olson fouls it back. It's 1-2 still.
Matt Olson sitting on 299 home runs for his career.
Now in his 11th major league season. 1-2.
It was interesting because remember when Freddie Freeman was there and the Braves chose not to re-sign Freeman, who I think is one of the best hitters in baseball. And they opted with the young Matt Olson.
A weak wave and a miss.
Turned out good for both teams, actually. Logan having that good signs of that splitter here so far tonight. He got Albies to swing that one out of the zone, and Olson again chases one well down beneath the bottom of that strike zone.
Well, here's another guy with some AL West roots, Mauricio Dubon. Mariners saw him for a number of years with the Astros. First year Atlanta Brave. He looks at a strike. Two-time Gold Glove Award winner, now in his 8th major league season. Dubon having a good year batting cleanup. This is a Braves team that is actually shorthanded despite all the success they've had. Ronald Acuna Jr. on the injured list. Catch is made by Julio to retire the side. A leadoff home run by Drake Baldwin, and the Braves have an early 1-0 lead.
Good things.
Here's what it looks like tonight for manager Dan Wilson. The right-handed J.R. Ritchie is up on the mound. That means the left-handed bat of J.P. Crawford leads things off. All the lefty hitters are in there for the Mariners tonight. Naylor, Canzone, Raley, and Young. Switch hitting Leo Rivas at the bottom of the order for the Mariners. Well, here is J.R. Ritchie. He is making his 3rd major league start. He's the pride of Bainbridge High School, not far from here on Bainbridge Island. What a night it would be for a ferry ride there. Making only his 3rd major league start, facing his childhood team. Ritchie was here at T-Mobile Park last October in Game 5 of the American League Division Series. He was a spectator, a Mariners fan, watching the Mariners take down Tarek Skubal and the Tigers. And wouldn't you know it, less than a year later, he's pitching on the very mound that he watched Skubal and company.
That's one thing I love about this game is each person has a story, a different story, depending on where you grew up, who your favorite team was. And then once you finally get to the very top, to be able to think that you could actually go back to your hometown team and have some, you got to think that on his way here, he's saying, somebody like pinch me, make sure that this is real.
He falls behind 3-1 at Crawford. He was taken 35th overall in 2022 by Atlanta. Drafted out of high school. He had originally committed early in his high school career to Oregon State and then decommitted after a coaching change there. Then committed to UCLA before then being drafted as high as he was, and he decided to take the pro ball route.
I wonder if that is when Pat Casey stepped down. Pat Casey, a former teammate of mine in AAA.
Is that right?
Great guy. Oh, we were flip partners to get each other ready for every game.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
Well, JP seems pretty confident this is a ball. Murphy challenges. He's been activated off the injured list, his first game of the year tonight, and he misses out on that challenge.
The call is confirmed. Atlanta loses one challenge. Ball four to battle one.
Well, we take you back to draft day, July 2022. Oh, look at Fred McGriff up there, announcing the Braves selection of J.R. Ritchie.
The crime dog, newly minted Hall of Famer.
A leadoff walk to Crawford, and now here is Julio.
So if Ritchie got to the MLB network for that draft, it was pretty certain it was going to happen while he was there.
Meaning they knew that he'd be a high pick?
Yes.
Murphy tracks this one down in time.
Oftentimes it's tough to get some of the younger players there for that, because I mean, you wouldn't want to be totally disappointed, right? You fly all the way to New Jersey, you get there and like nothing happened.
It's the Aaron Rodgers treatment.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there in the green room forever.
But what a day that was for J.R. Ritchie.
Two balls and a strike to Julio. It was interesting hearing some of the comments from Ritchie's manager, Walt Weiss. He said that he felt like today might be a day of even more nerves for Ritchie than his major league debut not long ago, just because of everything that we've been discussing. Him coming back here to his hometown ballpark. All the family and friends. All of Bainbridge Island is probably in the ballpark tonight to watch JR. Kind of a different set of emotions in some ways.
I think I would concur with Walt. Walt's been through that same type of thing himself, so he understands. Because you know, you grow up as a fan, right? Following your team.
Challenging the ball call.
Well, Murphy might just have lost the final challenge for the Braves, and he does. You know, this is interesting.
He hasn't been back there for a while, so maybe he's kind of lost a little bit of a touch back there.
I was going to say, this is his first game of the year. He was activated off the injured list today. He has been on the IL because of hip surgery, so this is not something he has had a chance to do, and I suppose that shows right away. The Braves, this is the earliest I've ever seen a team out of challenges, 2 batters into the game. Back-to-back full counts from Ritchie. Out to center field, Dubon comes in. 1 out.
Here's a look at what J.R. Ritchie's got here tonight. A little 6-pitch mix. Little 4-seam fastball he throws 30% of the time. The curveball, changeup, a slider, a sinker, and a cutter. Cutter's been very effective so far. It's that last pitch to Julio. He's got a nice late movement to it.
Naylor hits this hard, and it's smothered right there at first base by the Gold Glover Matt Olson. He's got 3 of them, and it's a double play. And Ritchie, as that inning was maybe starting to get away from him a little bit after a couple of 3-ball counts and some early traffic, gets out of it.
La Playa awaits.
Our Chevy Silverado drive of the game. How close was this to not being caught? Olsen looked like he got that right off on top of the ground. Just about. Here is Austin Riley. Braves third baseman takes strike one.
Nice reaction from Matt Olson as he dives to his left. Really nothing J.P. Crawford could do with that ball hit right behind him.
Fastball for a swinging strike to the two-time All-Star Austin Riley. Riley has seen his production wane a little bit in recent years. He's one of the many Braves who signed long-term extensions early in his career. Out to left field. Randy is back on the track and he flags it down. Hard hit out number one.
Rosarena gets a good jump on this ball. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. Austin hits it out there just short of the left field wall as a Rosarena runs it down. Rosarena made a fantastic catch in shallow left center field the other day, laying out completely.
Mike Yastrzemski shoots this on a line to right field. One out single. One out and one on for the catcher Sean Murphy. Well, how will Murphy's eye be as a hitter? He lost both challenges behind the plate. Had right hip surgery in September and was activated prior to tonight's ball game. So he's making his season debut. He's now 31 years old. In his 8th major league season. Now, Murphy really looked like a guy who would be one of the top catchers in the game for a long time. He won a Gold Glove in his second full season. Received MVP votes the next year. Was an All-Star the following year. Does not go. But injuries limited him to 72 games in 2024. Played fewer than 100 games last year. Sounds like the Mariners dugout is chirping a little bit. So his last two seasons have not been nearly as productive, and this year's gotten off to a late start. It's this hard over to Rivas. Young on to first base and a double play. Gilbert gets two turned behind him. They go around the horn out of the bottom of the second. This time it's the Mariners' turn to turn two behind Logan Gilbert.
The little one hopper to Rivas over at third. He's got plenty of time. Cole Young takes his time and throws a strike over to Naylor to complete the play.
Now, very cool sign. Bainbridge Island representing tonight inside T-Mobile Park, cheering on one of their own, J.R. Ritchie. Faced the minimum in a scoreless first, able to work around that leadoff walk thanks to a double play. Rosarena leads things off in the home second. Ritchie came into this year as the Braves' #2 prospect, one of the top prospects in all of baseball. This is a swinging butt. Ritchie with the bare hand. A strike to first, a stretch not in time, and Randy legs it out. As of now, it's an infield base hit. Let's see if the Braves want to challenge this.
Now, yesterday we were talking about Gold Gloves and pitchers. This is a great play right here by J.R. Ritchie. He puts a lot of steam on this ball to first base, but a Rosarena hustling down the line just barely beats it.
Here's Canzone. The year after Ritchie was drafted by the Braves in the first round, unfortunately, he had to get Tommy John surgery. So right as his pro career was getting started, it had the brakes stalled out. 1 ball and 1 strike. But he came back healthy from that, obviously. Eventually represented the Braves in the Futures game. Made it up to AAA, and now tonight is making his 3rd big league start.
Didn't take long for him to climb that ladder. It is amazing, though, how guys bounce back from the Tommy John as quickly as they do. Now, I'm sure there are stories of guys not bouncing back, but imagine being a young player, 19, 20 years old, and you have Tommy John, and you're thinking, I may never pitch again. Like, there's no guarantee. So it is a mental effort to be able to get through the rehab, get back to where you're comfortable throwing, and then throwing 100%.
Well, in Richie's case, he had said that he had never been injured before. So this is the first time he's ever going through something like that, and an injury that knocked him out for as long as Tommy John does. He goes around. Canzone not pleased. He commits on the fastball, and Richie collects his first strikeout.
We'll get another look at it right here. This is a fastball across the top of the zone, running a little away from Canzone. Let's see where that bat goes through. Yeah, it looks like it came through the cylinder straight up from the home plate.
Luke Raley, the batter. Keeping an eye on Arozarena. 7 steals for Randy this year. Curveball misses. 2-0 to Raley. Mariners have had the leadoff man reach each of the first 2 innings.
See that sinker running down and away from Luke Raley. 95 miles an hour. That is Richie's go-to pitch.
2-1. Now the Mariners had some good moments offensively on their last road trip. It was a 5-1 trip to the Midwest to play the Cardinals and the Twins, but they did not fare well by and large in the first series against Kansas City offensively. Randy's on his way to second. Pitch outside. Throw to second base is wide, and Arozarena swipes second base.
This is going to be interesting because as he comes across, it looks like he touches the calf or the feet of Randy Arozarena as he's diving. You see that ball going into the runner. He missed him.
Whiff.
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
No challenge by the Braves. They saw the same thing.
That's some good camera work right there, giving us the correct angle to make the call.
(3-2). He does not go. It's a walk to Raley. 1 out and 2 on. All season long, the Mariners are lighting up the sky with fireworks nights thanks to T-Mobile. Don't miss out on 8 shows this summer with the fun kicking off Friday, May 29th. Full calendar can be seen. You can pick up your tickets as well at mariners.com/fireworks. Second walk from Richie. We were talking about the offense Friday night. The Mariners unfortunately lost that game to the Royals. They scored 6 runs. They hit 4 homers. But the last 2 games against the Royals, the Mariners scored a grand total of 3 runs. Trying to get the offense put back into gear. And Murphy going out for a quick talk before Cole Young can bat. The Mariners are really trying to find a way to establish a little more long-term momentum going. It doesn't really feel like they've had any point this year where they've really caught stride and had some wind at their back, right? They've had some moments. Obviously, the last road trip was a good one. Young Skies is out to left center field, and Dubon is underneath it. The Mariners had the sweep at home in 4 games of a really banged-up Astros team back in April. So there's no doubt the Mariners have had some moments where they have looked good, but haven't been able to string anything together for, let's say, more than a week at a time so far.
When throughout the season, you're always looking for that consistency, whether it's from your starting rotation, your bullpen as a whole, and clearly from the offensive side. And as you've mentioned, there's been streaks where they'll go, you're thinking, okay, the offense has really come alive. They're starting to drive the ball.
Well, and all this is happening with the undercurrent of who knows the status of Cal Raleigh moving forward. He's missing his 3rd straight game. You've lost 2 critical leverage arms in the bullpen, and Brash and now Spire.
Clearly losing Cal, and we don't know if it's going to happen yet, would be a blow to this offense. Cal had 5 home runs in his last 10 games. Looked like he was starting to pick things up.
And of course, they've been without Brendan Donovan this entire time. Hoping that Donovan can get healthy and rejoin the Mariners at some point on the upcoming road trip. They'll be playing at Chicago against the White Sox, and then 4 games in Houston. This homestand wrapping up with day baseball on Wednesday against Atlanta. 2 outs, 2 on. Still the ball with 2 strikes on Garver, batting 8th and doing the catching in Cal's absence.
And one of the interesting things about Cal, he's played 6 full seasons. He's never been on the IL. I mean, you talk about durability. He's playing every day, whether he's behind the dish, hitting as a designated hitter. This would not be a good time for him to have that first stint. Fingers are crossed.
Well, he just means so much to this team. 2-2. Pretty close.
And I would venture to say that he's as important defensively as he is offensively to this ball club. The job that he does leading this pitching staff.
On a 3-2 to Garver. Lofted softly out to left field. Yastrzemski is there underneath it to make the catch. The Mariners strand a pair.
These trees were planted.
Well, Val, today we all lost a dear friend and one of the greats to ever do it in our profession. The legendary John Sterling passing away today at the age of 87. The longtime voice of the New York Yankees on radio. The best dressed broadcaster in the game, always in a coat and tie with a pocket square. And John was one of the most unique broadcasters this game has ever seen or heard. And just a dear, dear man who loved baseball, loved the Yankees, and most of all, man, did he love calling home runs.
Yeah, he was such a treat to be around. Funny, off the cuff, and that voice, that unique voice. Mr. Valley, how are you doing today?
Eli White leads it off. At one point, John called over 5,000 straight Yankees games without missing a day.
How? Like, how can you possibly do that? Think of like your voice, right? Just there are days that you lose your voice, you lose that touch, but 5,000, that is absolutely amazing.
Well, John was always so approachable. He always loved talking about baseball. I remember years ago on radio, we do a segment called The Round Table, and it's basically just unscripted baseball talk for a little under 10 minutes, and it's every single day. And many, many years ago, we had the idea, hey, wouldn't this be great? Oh, nice play by Rivas. Pops up and throws a low strike over to first in time to get Eli White. And we had the thought, wouldn't it be fun if we had some guests join us on the round table on the pregame show? And we were playing the Yankees, and so I went over to the Yankee radio booth and I said, hey, John, and I didn't know John all that well at the time. And I said, John, would you mind being our guest and coming over to this thing we call the round table? I'd be more than happy to. And so he came over, and we found some John Sterling highlights, and we played some of his great calls, and we asked him about all of his unique home run calls and how he came up with all of them. And it was just a really fun baseball talk with John Sterling. And the next day, I'm on radio, and we are just about to come on the air for the top of the hour broadcast open. So we're 10 minutes away from first pitch, and the opening music bed is being played, and I'm 30 seconds away from going live to open the broadcast, and I feel this presence slide up next to me, and I see a pocket square, and it's John Sterling. Well, I'm not going to ignore John Sterling as I hear 15 seconds, and I slide my headset off my ear, and I say, "Hey, John, how you doing?"
Help you?
This is Crawford by the bag, and close play, safe, an infield base hit. Mateo can still really run. 1 out and 1 on. And I slide my headset off, and John says to me, "Aaron, I just loved coming on the roundtable." John, we loved having you. Give me 1 second.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Mariner Baseball.
You know, that same year, I asked John if he would record a voicemail for me. And when I first explained it to him, I don't know if he really understood what I was saying, what I was asking for. And I made a script.
Was this for your cell phone?
That's for my cell phone, yeah. I don't know if anybody, shockingly, had asked him to record a voicemail before. I think if I'd said
a great idea.
if I'd said like answering machine, I think John, it might have been more his speed, right? John was still using a flip phone until the very end. Mateo's taken off to second, throw, tag. Not in time. Mateo at second base with 1 out at the top of the order. Baldwin, who homered earlier. Well, Matt Holliday used to play for the Yankees.
At the very end of his career.
One of John's great calls is when Matt Holliday would hit a home run, John would sing "Happy Holidays." And so I wanted to make a voicemail that I would play from basically Thanksgiving to New Year with "Happy Holidays."
I'm tracking with you.
And so I had John record a voicemail where he said "Happy Holidays" on behalf of my great friend Aaron Goldsmith and me, John Sterling, the voice of the New York Yankees. And I produced the whole voicemail with a music bed of Sinatra singing "Happy Holidays." You should call me at some point in December.
I will remind me.
I'll ignore your call just so you can hear it.
You always ignore my call, by the way.
So
and I don't have caller ID on. I actually have caller ID on.
John is such a beautiful man, and it's just such a big part of baseball. And in our country's biggest city, where the lights are the brightest in New York, John carved out a truly Hall of Fame caliber career. He will be missed. A wonderful man and a tremendous broadcaster.
Well said. Well said.
3-2, the count full to Baldwin.
So you still have the recording?
Oh, November 1st.
Yeah.
I make the switch. John Miller is my voicemail right now. And it goes to John Sterling.
Kind of reminds me of what Derek Jeter did when Bob Shepard retired. He had Bob Shepard retire it.
The legendary public address announcer at Yankee Stadium. Baldwin scorches this foul.
When you had Bob Shepard say your name at Yankee Stadium, it's like you've arrived, right? That was kind of the feeling. And when Bob was going to retire, Derek asked him, "Hey, can you record it? Because I will use it for the rest of my career." So he retired, then passed away. The rest of Derek's career, whenever Jeter got up to the plate, it was Bob Shepard.
Yeah. A walk to Baldwin, so 1 out, first and second. Well, different is good in this game. And John was different, and I mean that in a very complimentary way.
He definitely was set apart.
Yes.
He broke away from the mold, from his voice to his home run calls, to his very elegant way about having a conversation. I would love to hear that baseball roundtable with him on it, because I'm sure he told some good stories.
This is sent deep out to Randy on the track, and he reaches up and he makes the catch. And he thought that wouldn't quite go quite as far back, but he makes up for it. 2 outs.
Yeah, this ball looks like it just continued to carry on Randy because he kept drifting and drifting and drifting. And he's not near the wall yet. But he stayed with it and made the play.
That brings up Matt Olson. Runners in the corners, 2 outs. Olson has had a tremendous start to this year, like so many other Braves hitters. He takes low. 11 home runs on the year for Olson. He is in fact leading all hitters in extra base hits this year, and by a decent margin. 5 more than Yordan Alvarez and Ben Rice. Speaking of the Yankees, now the man for whom he was traded for, one of them, Shea Langoliers, is on that list. 2-0. To the backstop, 2-1. Mateo at third, Baldwin the runner at first base. So great speed at third. Changeup missing, 3-1. I bring that up. Wild pitch. We know how much Gilbert with the splitter, the slider as well. A lot of trust in Garver behind home plate. That misses, and the bases are loaded. A couple of walks. Baldwin into second. Mateo stays put.
The ball looked like he might have caught that outside corner right there.
Garver out for a toss.
Yeah, I don't mind that right there. Him pitching around Olson, trying to be very, very careful. Because what he has done at the start of the season has been pretty amazing. Through 35 games, he joins Stan Musial, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, and Todd Helton to accumulate 26 extra base hits, 32 runs scored, and 31 RBIs. So I don't know if he can get much hotter.
No, it's remarkable. And this lineup does look a little bit different. We mentioned this earlier. Michael Harris II is on the bench. He is not in the starting lineup today. He's been dealing with the quad issue that has limited his ability to play the field. And we would normally see Harris up in the order, but instead Dubon is batting cleanup. He's batting fourth tonight. Harris has been just incredible. I mean, you talk about how great all these hitters have been for the Braves. Harris is maybe at the very top of that list, at least over the last couple of weeks. This ball stung, but right at Randy, an atom ball with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and Gilbert gets out of a jam. Well, we hope to see you on Saturday, May 16th. The Mariners celebrate Salute to Armed Forces Night. First 10,000 fans will receive this special Army Green Mariners cap thanks to Boeing. Mariners.com/tickets. It's Leo Rivas to lead things off for the Mariners. First pitch called a strike to Rivas. He's having a conversation with our home plate umpire. It's Lance Barksdale tonight. Well, it is always great when we see someone from our beautiful region make it all the way to the major leagues. Richie from Bainbridge Island And we know that the weather out here is not always conducive to, let's say, year-round baseball, at least outdoors. Is 1-2. And he strikes out Leo Rivas.
Well, I will tell you, as a former high school coach of Bellevue Christian for my son, that is a very true fact. One year, my son, I think it was his junior year, the first 6 games of the season were rained out. I mean, it was so depressing for the kids. They were so excited to get ready, start competing, and we were in the gym, you know, for about a 2-week period.
It's not where you're supposed to be.
No, you want to be outside playing some baseball.
Back to the top of the order in J.P. Crawford. Well, oftentimes we see players that are in California, Arizona, Texas, Georgia, warmer states, kind of have a leg up because they just simply can play so much more baseball than young players out here. And for anybody who is either a current player or has a son or daughter in baseball or softball in this area during the winter time, it's a lot of time at your local facility, right? Local cages. And Richie did an interview when he was in the minor leagues talking about some of the hurdles of training in the Seattle area in the winter, and I loved his response, and anybody who's lived through it can relate to it. He said that he felt like training for baseball in the winter in Seattle, he said, had a grindy feel to it. He said it would feel so good when you'd finish a workout and then you'd go outside. It was 35 degrees, 40 degrees, it's raining, it's constantly dark. Fly ball to left field. And obviously Richie did a lot of that during his time in high school on Bainbridge Island that got him to where he is now. But yeah, that's what baseball life is like in the winter months here in our area.
No, it definitely develops a mental toughness because it's not easy to be able to be putting that time in that you need to do if you're going to be able to develop into a professional athlete. But it does build up that mental toughness of, hey, I got to show up every day. I got to show up and put in my time, put in my work.
I mean, bottom line, you got to really love it.
Yes.
2 outs, nobody on for Julio. Chopping third base. Riley from the cut of the grass, and Julio is out. Richie faces the minimum for the second time in 3 innings. And what a night inside T-Mobile Park. We have been spoiled by this recent weather. Top of the 4th, 1-0. Atlanta has the lead on a leadoff home run to begin the ball game by Drake Baldwin. 70 degrees right now. First pitch strike to Austin Riley. He stung a ball out to left field earlier in his first at bat, but caught by a Rosarena. Does not go. Braves come to town having won 15 of their last 18 games. They're coming off a clean sweep on this road trip in Colorado. Took all 3 from the Rockies over the weekend. Skied out to Raley. 1 away. Now a message from Jack in the Box.
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
One down for Mike Yastrzemski. He is the grandson of the great Carl Yastrzemski, the Hall of Famer. 23 years for the Red Sox. Gilbert ahead 0-2. Now, Mike has started to carve out a nice career for himself. He broke in with the Giants. He had a late debut. He was 28 years old when he made his major league debut with San Francisco. You don't see that happen too often. And when you do, you don't normally see the guy playing into his age 35 season, which is what is happening with Yastrzemski.
Call him a late bloomer.
Yeah, good for him.
Because you get to that age about 28, 29, you start thinking about life after baseball. Like, okay, this is probably not going to work out. I had an older brother who played 13 years in the minor leagues after being drafted out of high school. Played into his 30s.
This is cued over to Young with a backhand. 2 outs. How many years?
13
in the minors.
Yeah, it was a long grind.
It's a lot of peanut butter and jelly, man.
Back then, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, for context, Yastrzemski broke in as a 28-year-old. Last year was Cal Raleigh's age 28 season.
Cal's got 6 years under his belt. And they both came out of college, I believe.
Yeah, Vanderbilt for Yastrzemski and Florida State for Cal. I should have said Florida just to make it mad. Nothing in one.
That's Tallahassee, right? Florida State.
That's right. Gainesville for the Gators. 0-2. Murphy calls time.
Every time I look at this Atlanta Braves uniform, I start sweating. I see that patch with Quikrete on it, and I think of all the bags of Quikrete that I have mixed in my life.
Oh, 80 pounds a bag.
Hard work.
A swing and a miss, chasing a nasty slider. Got a couple pallets waiting for you by your car to the bottom of the fourth.
Welcome back. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth. Braves lead 1-0. You guys were talking about J.R. Ritchie and how he took pride in working out during Washington winters. He also allowed his struggles to fuel him. He says he wasn't great at baseball when he started playing it, that he was the worst player on a 9U travel team. And he played maybe an inning or two all year at second base, and he said it made him mad. And because he was bad, he had to work harder. And all those hours of hard work certainly paid off, guys.
Yeah, from the worst 9-year-old on his team to a big leaguer. Making his third major league start tonight. 2-0 to Naylor. What a journey for all these guys. Hit hard through the right side for a base hit. First hit out of the infield for the Mariners.
Saw Josh out here early around 1:30 taking extra BP as he continues to stay hot and lock in that timing and rhythm at the plate. This ball is scorched out there into right.
In steps Randy. Second time through the order. I think it would surprise people. We talk about the guys taking batting practice every day, early batting practice, time of the cage, time one-on-one with either Seitzer or Bobby Magallanes, assistant hitting coach. I think a lot of people would kind of assume, well, most of these guys have been doing this for a long time at this level. They've all been doing this their entire lives. On the ground, over to third, a chance for two, and that's what they get, a double play. I think, Val, the assumption could easily be made, well, their swing is their swing, and what is there to really have to continue to work on? But it is an ever-evolving thing, isn't it?
Kind of like it's show and go, just show up and play baseball.
Pick up a bat.
Yeah, like Little League.
It's got your number on it.
Yeah, just go ahead. Let's go. Let's play. Yeah, that's far from the case. I think if you talked and followed hour by hour guys the day before they actually play at 6:40 now, what they go through, the preparation that they put in, whether it's weightlifting, stretching, running, extra batting practice, hitting off the tee, coming out here today, they had both the live pitching and the pitching machine.
Through the left side, hit hard for a base at 105 off the bat from Canzone.
And the amount of swings that they take too. So they put in the work. If you want to be great at anything you do, you put the work in. It just doesn't happen. This is a nice short stroke. This was actually the stroke that he was working on early today. He started off, he hit about 15 balls to the left side of second base, just trying to hit line drives into that left center field gap. And then he comes out here today, gets another pitch on the outside part of the plate, and you build on that success, right? You've been doing it, practicing. You get in game, you put it into play, it works, and it's like, hey, I'm going to try to do this more often. And then guys, you know, they get hot, and then they don't ever want to change the routine. But I think back on, you know, the great players, Ken Griffey Jr. Jr. was here every day. You know, and people thought he just was flippant about practicing and, you know, getting ready. He hit extra every day. He just didn't want you to know about it.
He wanted you to think he just rolled out of bed and did it.
And then there was Edgar, who would always show up early. Edgar would do eye exercises because, you know, he had that lazy eye. He'd have to do those before he did anything. Then he'd go work out, get his body ready, and then he would hit off the tee. And the thing I loved about Edgar, I asked him, I said, what are you trying to do on the tee? And he goes, I don't leave the tee until I feel I found the rhythm. So he'd hit and hit and hit. So he said some days it took 50 swings, some days it took 10. And then he'd go out and take batting practice. Hit off your tee, guys, all you youngsters.
Like the power to do.
Catch a marquee interleague matchup for less than $12. The Mariners continue their series with these Braves. You can go to mariners.com/value games to lock in your seats for tomorrow and Wednesday. At Day Baseball on Wednesday, 1:10 the first pitch. Brian Wu will take them out. Kirby tomorrow. Up and in, ball one to Eli White, number 8 hitting right fielder. White had his longest run of the big leagues last year. He played in over 100 games with Atlanta. 10 home runs, hit just over 230. On the ground, Rivas picks that right by the back. 360 spin. One away. He's had a couple of hot shots over there tonight.
Yeah, he's a glove man over at the hot corner. Diving to his left, another tough play right here to his backhand. I love the 360 spin to set his feet. Eli White can run, but his ball's hit so hard. Sets up and gets off a strong throw to first base.
Well, he's been ready when Eli White's been up there both times. A hot shot over to third when White's been at the plate. Here's Mateo. I think the plan for the Braves this year at shortstop was Hassan Kim, the former Padre. Won a Gold Glove with San Diego a few years back, but Kim broke a finger this offseason. He slipped and fell on ice. So he has been out of the lineup and on the injured list all year so far. They're hoping to get him back, and that could move Mateo at some point. Mateo filling in there at shortstop until Kim returns. On an 0-2. Count evens on Mateo, the 9-man. Baldwin is due up next. Big chopper, fair behind the bag. A plant and a throw from Rivas. Busy man. 2 outs.
Nothing quite gives a pitcher confidence of allowing the other team to put the ball in play when the guys behind you are getting the job done. And Rivas is getting the job done here tonight.
A lot of action over there so far. Back to the top of the order. This will be the 3rd time through for Gilbert. Baldwin's driven in the game's only run. Last year's National League Rookie of the Year. Baldwin, the other catcher for Atlanta. Mentioned that Sean Murphy is making his season debut tonight. Their veteran catcher. Baldwin last year hit .274, 19 homers. Former 3rd-round draft pick out of Missouri State University. He gets ahead 2-0. And at least so far, he's been even better so far this year. Batting well over 300. Not only that, his home run total, if you include his home run tonight, it's basically half of what he hit all of last year.
Only 5 weeks into the season.
Julio went straight away center field. He's right there to retire the side. 7 in a row sat down by Logan Gilbert.
Good things.
You know what today's date is?
Let me look it up on my phone. No, I don't. What is it? May.
So it's May 4th.
Okay.
This is a big. Are you aware of this? It's a big Star Wars day.
I'm not a Star Wars guy, so I did not know. But I was getting a hint with some of the video here at the ballpark. That
See, it's funny because you profile as a big Star Wars guy.
Do I? How do you figure?
I think the bald head, yeah. There's some characters that look like you.
Are there?
So
Star Wars?
I know this only from working in the minor leagues. It's May the 4th. May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. It's a big Star Wars day in baseball. So
now it's all coming together.
Every minor league team craves being home on May 4th so they can
fill up the stadium.
Yeah, some fun Star Wars things. So Mariners are home, so we got some Star Wars antics going on in the ballpark tonight for May 4th. Cole Young leading things off. 2-2. On the ground behind the bag, Olsen is there. 1 away. That brings up Mitch Garver. Richie's faced the minimum twice so far through 4 innings. Now pitching into the 5th. He's walked a pair. Given up just 3 hits. One of them an infield base hit.
Well, if he did have a lot of nerves coming into this ball game, he could have fooled me. He's been throwing strikes, working ahead.
Quickly 2 outs.
That pitch count at only 63 here with 2 outs in the 5th.
Now 22 pitches in the 2nd, but outside of that has been cruising along. You know, it didn't get off to a great start. It wasn't bad for Richie, but he walked the first batter that he faced. He ran a full count to Julio. Maybe not throwing as many strikes as he would have liked, but then a double play, and it was really nicely turned by Olsen. Unassisted over at first base, got Richie out of that first inning, and then he's been cruising ever since. 0-2.
So perhaps a little nerves in the first.
You
and then
understand
settle it down. Been a great pitching duel here between him and Logan Gilbert. Logan gave up that home run to the first hitter, Drake Baldwin, and has settled in really nicely here this evening.
It hits Rivas. He's limping around a little bit. Hit him with 2 strikes, no less.
Richie tries to land the curveball right here, holds on to it just a little bit too long. As that ball comes in and hits the back foot of Rivas.
I would call that a triple whammy. You've got 2 outs, 2 strikes, and the number 9 hitter. That's a triple whammy right there.
It's not where you want to be when that lineup turns over.
Crawford for the 3rd time, 0 for 1 with a walk. Swings out of his helmet. You calling that same pitch again? After you see a guy lose his helmet on a swing?
It kind of depends on how you went after him in that first inning. You know, it looked like JP was looking for something in that location. With the changeup, really got him out in front. Yeah, I've always been a big believer in when you're calling the game, the swing before kind of dictates what you're going to call next.
You're saying that a swing isn't just a swing, they're different.
Yes. Yes. On how far they're out in front. Were they on that fastball? Should I come back with another fastball? On that outside part of the plate, you can tell as a catcher, wow, he was right on that pitch. It was an outside corner, and he still put a good pass on it. I'm probably going to stay away from that.
Like he's looking there.
Yes. On a breaking pitch, if the guy's timing and he waited back and maybe he just fouled it back, or even if he swung and missed, but you could tell he was on it as far as the velocity of that breaking ball. That's when you want to try to switch things up.
But really even mix tonight by and large for Richie. Change up in the dirt, 2-2.
Just so they have the saying, you know, you sped up his bat. What that would mean is good fastball on the outside part of the plate. If it's a left-handed hitter like JP, he hits it over the third base dugout. He's late. And then you throw him something a little bit slower, which speeds up that hitter's bat. Where until, you know, the hitter makes that adjustment and you see and feel that adjustment, if he's going to keep swinging at that and being late, I'm going to keep staying out there until that hitter changes.
3-2. Got a piece of a curveball down and in. A lot of curves tonight from Richie.
Here's a look at that sequence that he has used. Changeups and curveballs, just 2 four-seam fastballs that he's trying to get him to chase across the top of the zone.
They appeal. He does not go. So after a 2-out hit by pitch, Crawford draws a walk, and the Mariners have first and second. That brings up Julio. Well, you go back 2 starts ago, the first pitch that J.R. Richie ever threw in the major leagues, his big league debut on a major league mound for the very first time at Nationals Park. And what happens? A center cut fastball. James Woods takes him out of the yard. And hey, good for Richie. A little smile as that ball goes over the fence. And man,
welcome to the big leagues, young man. But what was so impressive is that he went on and threw 7 scoreless after that.
It was a tremendous debut. It was not exactly the greeting that he had imagined, I would have to think, but yeah, the great fortitude to bounce back after that very first pitch that he threw.
Well, this is where you'd like to see the Mariners take advantage of the walk and the hit by pitch with Julio up at the plate. Their hottest hitter.
Mariners have the tying run in scoring position with pretty good speed in Rivas.
Julio coming into this game, his last 21 games, hitting .345 with 11 extra base hits.
2-0. He takes 3 balls, no strikes. Richie has walked 3 tonight. He walked 4 his last time on the mound. That was right there on the corner. Remember, the Braves are out of challenges. They've been out since the first inning. Not close. The bases are loaded, and all of this coming on a 2-out, 2-strike hit batter after that consecutive walks. And now Naylor with the bags packed.
Mariners got to be feeling good right now with Josh Naylor coming up to the plate. That first at bat, he ripped one into right field for a base hit. And he has been on fire.
Ball 1.
Richie throwing a lot of off-speed pitches, lots of breaking balls, curveballs over the last 3 hitters. Has not been able to land them.
2 outs, tying run at third. Naylor went chasing after a pitch up.
Yeah, he had something in mind right there. He was looking fastball, got the fastball. It was just a little bit up out of the strike zone.
Bases loaded, 2 down. 1-1. Big bouncer to Olsen at first base, and Richie gets out of a bases loaded jam, and the Mariners spoil their best chance yet. Logan Gilbert pitching very well so far tonight through 5 innings. Look at how he has recorded his 15 outs.
Yeah, he's got the Braves to swinging some pitches down out of the strike zone. But all of his four-seam fastball has been very effective up in the zone. That slider he's been landing on the backside of the plate. Little backdoor sliders. After that home run, he has really settled in. Has had a really good rhythm, working ahead in the count as he typically does.
Ozzie Albies leading things off. Switch hitting second baseman. First pitch strike. Only run of this game was a leadoff home run in the first by Drake Baldwin. Does not go. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shot out towards right center. Julio angling back. He is turning, and it's gone. Ozzie Albies' hot hitting continues. It's a 2-0 Braves lead. A pair of solo homers.
And with that home run by Albies, his hitting streak continues to 16 games. After a couple of breaking balls, 1 first strike, 1 down, he gets a fastball right down the heart of the plate. And Albies does not miss this one. You could tell by the sound of the bat.
Here's Matt Olson. Well, they say solo home runs won't kill you, but the Mariners are going to need to start scoring some runs for that to hold up.
With the start Matt Olson has had, Logan Gilbert has just been working him on the outer half of the plate.
It's one of the more unique setups for any hitter. His hands, this has been like this for his whole career, even dating back to when we saw him with the A's. His hands, they look like they're floating over the middle of home plate.
And once he starts his movement, right, to get ready to swing, those hands kind of rock back into the good hitting position. Again, it's just not one way for hitters to hit, right?
Deep center field. Julio watching back-to-back home runs. Albies and Olson. 3 solo home runs for Atlanta. Career home run number 300 for Matt Olson.
This is a little slide around over the plate. He tried to go back door with it, but that ball ends up right on the middle part of the plate, down right in the go zone for Matt Olson. The ball had a lot of carry.
Here's Dubon. Backs away from a strike. So Albies and Olson back to back. Braves came into this game with the second most home runs in baseball this year. Gilbert had given up just 4 home runs all season. Oh, 2. You look at the all-time leaderboard of home runs by first baseman. Now the next man up is Anthony Rizzo at 303. Line drive right to Young. One away. Hard first out of the inning. And it brings up Austin Riley. Well, here's the reality. If somebody had told you that Logan Gilbert was in a position to go 6 innings and allow 3 runs against this offense, you would say there's not a manager in the world that wouldn't take that, right?
With as many runs as they have been scoring, averaging 6 over their last 18 games, and after scoring 28 runs in 3 games in Colorado. So yeah, I'll take 3, because you're figuring that the Mariners offense is going to be able to wake up and put some runs up on the board before this is over. As you mentioned, it's solo home runs. It's the walks and then a home run, hit by a pitch and then a home run, that really let the game get away from you.
2 balls and a strike to Riley. This is the. It's Austin Riley's turn. 4th home run tonight, and the 3rd this inning. All solo smashes by the Braves. It has matched the season total allowed by Logan Gilbert.
That ball traveling 427 feet out there into the left center. Well, we knew this offense was hot, but they are not missing any mistakes that Gilbert is throwing here tonight.
80 pitches for Logan Gilbert. 1 out, nobody on. Hoppy getting up in the bullpen now for the Mariners. No doubt Dan would love to see Logan be able to go a full 6 in this one. Yastrzemski, the batter, rolls over this to Naylor. Flip to Gilbert. That was a little close. 2 outs. Here comes the Braves catcher, Sean Murphy. And the Mariners are facing this lineup without Michael Harris II in it, and without Ronald Acuna Jr. in the lineup. He's on the injured list, put there recently with a hamstring strain. Braves don't think it's too serious, but certainly serious enough to take him off the field for a short while. Upstairs, ball 1. There is Acuna, just a spectator for a while. Martin Perez, the longtime Ranger, now pitching for the Braves. He's wound up having a forever career in the big leagues. On a 2-1. Evens the count.
Yeah, Perez, I believe he's 38 years old.
He's in his 15th major league season now.
Wow. That's kind of rare territory. 15 years.
For many years, the Rangers' top prospect. And Garver looked like that caught him somehow. What happened there exactly?
Something in his leg, because he received the ball just fine.
Home plate umpire Lance Barksdale giving him a moment. He's having to reach up a little high.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that you would possibly feel if you're on a knee, right? You kind of have your dropped anchor, and then you're trying to stretch, like maybe somewhere in the groin area, because it's not a normal movement, and that's not something you work on every day. But you're reacting to a fastball up out of the zone.
This will be pitch number 7 to Murphy. Strike 3 call. 3 solo home runs for the Braves, and they have extended the lead 4-0. Well, as the Mariners are celebrating 50 years of Mariners baseball this year, don't miss out on the Julio Rodriguez 90s jersey night at the end of the month. First 15,000 fans will take home this 90s inspired sleeveless jersey May 30th thanks to KeyBank. Mariners.com/tickets to get yours.
I like the sleeveless jersey. I like the
You want
look.
to see that? You want to see that come back?
It kind of reminds me of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay,
Roberto
yeah.
Clemente, Willie Stargell.
Randy ducks out of the way. 2-0.
You're not a fan of the sleeveless?
I mean, I understand the nostalgia. I wouldn't want it to come back.
Okay.
But I understand the nostalgia to it. Would you want it to come back?
I like it. I mean, we're seeing all kinds of jerseys nowadays. Why not bring some retro? You know, I mean, some of the what
City
do they call
Connect.
City Connect jerseys for some of the teams. You're like, whoa, like what team is that?
Randy steps back and takes a 4-pitch walk. It's the 5th walk tonight from J.R. Ritchie. This is the last year of the Mariners City Connects.
It's going to change again.
Each team is allowed to have 5 uniforms. Yeah. Now some teams have. The Red Sox are using 2 versions of City Connects. Their previous one and their current one. So you know. You can have up to 5. So you want to keep all your City Connects from previous years, you can do that too, I suppose.
Really? So is it phasing out for something new?
We will find out.
Okay.
One ball and 1 strike to Canzone. Ritchie at almost 90 pitches. Tyler Kenley is warming up inside of their bullpen.
Well, you'd certainly like to get to Ritchie here after another walk, leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 6th.
The M's have just not been able to cash in on the opportunities that they have been afforded here tonight.
He's walked 5 and he's hit a batter.
They're 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, and they've left 6 runners on base.
Randy a lead at first base, nobody out. And he walks Canzone. He walks back-to-back batters in 4 of the last 5. Now a message from Echo.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
This will prompt the visit out to the mound. Six walks, just 3 hits by contrast. 25 pitches last inning in the 5th. And not many strikes here in the 6th. Mariners capitalize on an opportunity. They left the bases loaded in the 5th. They have been gifted 2 walks to begin the 6th. Down by 4. And an easy take outside, ball 1. Smoked foul. We're all good. Wow, that ball tagged right field, gone! 1-run game, a bomb from Luke Raley.
Well, we were waiting for the Mariners to take advantage of some of the opportunities. And Luke Raley jumps on this one and puts it into the seats for a 3-run home run.
And just like that, the M's are back in business.
Well, the Mariners finally capitalize on some walks, and they hang a crooked number.
Ritchie struggling this inning with location. This one is just right down Broadway.
That one got out fast. Raley gets the Mariners back in it, down a run. Pitching change.
100 years.
Now J.R. Ritchie's night has come to a close after 5+. He gives up that 3-run home run to Luke Raley.
Well, he seemed really to settle down all through those first 4 innings, but then started to struggle with those walks. Put on 2 here in the inning, and Luke Raley was the Mariner who took advantage of it. Little hug to his mentor.
A lot was said in that hug.
Yes.
Some appreciation there from Luke Raley. Our new pitcher, Tyler Kenley, up on the mound. And a first pitch strike to Cole Young.
Kenley's going to throw that slider 69% of the time. He's got a four-seam fastball and a curveball.
Kenley's in his 9th major league season, but he's been almost exclusively a National League pitcher. Just a very brief time, all of 4 appearances with the Twins. Outside of that, it's been all in the NL. 1-1. A wave and a miss. Curveball strikes out Young. First out of the inning. Here is Garver. Well, the Mariners right back into this one. Raley's 6th home run this year. Obviously, nobody in the lineup had seen J.R. Ritchie yet. How big of a deal is it to see him for the 3rd time like Raley did when he hit the homer compared to the first at-bat, right? As you continue to kind of catalog each at-bat against a specific guy.
Yeah, you're picking up the release point. You're picking up the velocity. You're picking up the way his fastball moves, the way his breaking ball moves. And as you had noted this earlier, he really uses all of his pitches. He's got 6 of them. So in 2.5 at-bats, you pretty much have seen just everything that he throws.
Now a 3-0 count to Garver.
And the pitch that he took advantage of was a mistake pitch, middle part of the plate.
Taking ball 4. Well, Kenley has had his struggles with walks at times this year as well. He walks the second batter that he sees. Well, how big will it be that the Braves are out of challenges as this game is now a 1-run contest in the 6th? That was a close pitch. Strike 1 of Rivas.
The batter is challenging the strike call.
Rivas challenging, thinking this was a ball. And it was.
Calls overturns the ball. 1-0.
On the corner. Rivas behind a ball and 2 strikes. Garver a lead at first base. 1 out, 1 on. Swing and a miss. More spin from Kenley. 2 outs.
Kenley pulls the string a little bit on the curveball. This one coming in at 84 miles an hour. After throwing Rivas a steady diet of sliders.
Kenley is so breaking ball heavy. He's about 85% spin between the slider and the curve on the year. Count evens on Crawford. He's been aboard twice. He's walked both times. Called a strike. Good take by Crawford just off the plate. The 2-2. Mariners trailed 4-0 until Rayleigh's 3-run home run this inning. And they've dipped into this very good Braves bullpen. Jackknifes him. Braves bullpen 4th lowest ERA in baseball. And one of the highest strikeout rates with one of the lowest walk rates in the majors. Count is now full. Three-two. High fly. Way back there. Does it have enough? It's gone! J.P. Crawford! It's a go-ahead 2-run home run!
What a great at-bat by J.P. Crawford. Had some good swings, took some close pitches, but finally timed one up and hit a moonshot out there to right field.
You talk about flipping the script. Julio ducks out of the way of a curve.
Well, those two swings of the bat have really woken up the crowd here at T-Mobile.
One ball and 1 strike to Julio. From down 4-0 to up 5-4. First Rayleigh and then Crawford.
Again, the Mariners taking advantage of that walk to J.P. Crawford. I mean, not J.P. J.P. was the one who hit the home run. Rivas struck out.
3 walks this inning, to your point, by Mariners hitters. Garver, Canzone, and Arozarena. And all have come around to score. This is lifted high and deep. It's onto the warning track. Ballpark holds it. There is White for out number 3. Well, the Mariners now find themselves in front after 6 innings. J.P. Crawford, a skyscraper of a home run. 5-4 after 6.
We're earning unlimited.
Well, the Mariners down by 1 with Garver aboard, and Crawford belts this out to right field for a go-ahead 2-run homer. And if you were flying over T-Mobile Park and you're on the right side of the plane, man, you got a good view.
How cool would that be? Looking down and into the roof with the roof back. What a beautiful night here.
Now, Ferrer takes over. He will pitch the 7th with the Mariners up a run now. First reliever out of the bullpen tonight for the Mariners after Gilbert goes 6 innings. Final line for Logan Gilbert.
Logan ended up going 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. All of those were solo homers. Struck out 4, walked 2, and he did it on 89 pitches.
Good changeup, gets a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Eli White.
Well, in your theory of that, solo home runs, they don't kill you. They still give you a chance, though, right? 4
home runs, all solo.
Yes, and then finally the Mariners took advantage of some of the opportunities that Richie gave with the walks. Kinley with another walk.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort Pen Report as Ferrer takes over. His 18th appearance already this year. Just 3 walks to 12 strikeouts. Tremendous ground ball pitcher. And this finds the ground and also finds right field. White shoots a fastball the other way. So the tying run is aboard for Atlanta.
Ferrer throws his pitch right on that outside corner. Eli White not trying to do too much with it, but slaps it for a clean single into right field.
Mateo the batter. Now Mateo tried to challenge and then realized he doesn't have any. It would have been a strike. The Braves lost both their challenges in the bottom of the first inning.
That can't be a good feeling, right? You're the catcher, first game back.
Yeah.
And you use both, and you would think the catcher should have the better perspective on all of those challenges, right? You're right behind the ball coming in.
Garver's been so good with the ABS this year. I've wondered before, we've talked to some guys, if you look up at the video board in most ballparks, and this is where it is at T-Mobile Park, the ABS is at the very end of the line score. You can see 0 for the Braves. The Mariners still have both of theirs. I think it'd be so easy to lose track. A wave and a miss, chasing a dirty changeup from Ferrer. To lose track of your team's challenges, right? I mean,
well, you're in the moment, right?
Not every player is in on every pitch, and to always be aware there's no penalty for challenging when you don't have a challenge left, like we just saw from Mateo. But it feels especially like late in games, late in close games, walking to the plate knowing, okay, it's the, oh man, watch out, that got away from him. Okay, it's the 8th inning, it's the 9th inning. We have 2 or 1 challenges left, and if I need one, I can use one here. And that seems like kind of a new wrinkle that a player needs to be aware of in this day and age.
Yeah, the importance of having those challenges late in the game. Great job by Baldwin getting out of the way of that one. That went right over his head.
One out, 1 on. Baldwin has homered and walked tonight. For Baldwin, it was his 9th home run already this year. Big bouncer. Young, it takes him to second. He has to throw across his body. He won't be able to get enough on it. He was falling backwards and having to throw to first base. They get White 2 down and swap runners at first base.
Young having to come up on this one. You almost think JP was at second base. He would have had a better chance to get a little bit more on that throw to possibly get him at first base, but chose to go solo.
Albies sends this softly into right field. Raley is right there. And Ferrer spins a scoreless 7th. Preserves a 1-run lead. Time to stretch.
Baker.
Mariners TV is brought to you by the Washington Lottery. Washington's lottery helps fund the Washington Grant. Free money for college, training, or apprenticeships. A spectacular night here in Seattle. Game 1 of 3, Mariners and the Braves. And the Mariners leading by a run going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Mariners would love to try to play a little add-on here against a good Braves bullpen. And Aaron Bummer, one of 3 lefties in that pen, on to work the 7th.
Bummer has appeared in 15 games so far with 11 1/3 innings. He's given up 7 earned runs, 4 walks, and 10 strikeouts.
Bummer's been a good ground ball pitcher this year, and yet he's given up the most home runs, 4 of them in that Braves bullpen.
Bummer features that sinker that we just saw right there, curveball, sweeper, cutter, and a 4-seamer that he rarely throws. You're going to see mostly sinkers and curveballs.
The ball roped down the line. It finds the corner. Extra bases for Josh Naylor. He runs out from under his helmet and stands up at second base with a double. That ball was punched.
Boy, Josh is just looking so good at the plate right now. Pulling those hands inside. Just a little backup slider right on the inner half of the plate. And he rips it right down the line for an easy stand-up double. He hit a laser in his first at-bat to right field as well.
Randy, fly ball, left field, onto the track, and right up against the wall practically. Yastrzemski makes the catch.
That pitch just got in on the hands of Randy just enough to keep it in the ballpark.
1 out. Naylor stays put. Dan Wilson goes to his bench with the lefty up on the mound. He bats for Canzone. Here is Ref Snyder. It's all righties on the bench plus Cal Raleigh. Canzone done for the night, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. On the ground, it finds left field. Naylor had to wait for a moment. And he only can get into third. Mariners have him on the corners. Ref Snyder not waiting around. Pinch hit, base hit to left.
Good base running by Naylor. The rule of thumb is if that ball's hit to your right, if you're the runner on second, it's hit to your right, you have to wait till it goes through the infield. And then you advance the 90 feet, which is exactly what Josh Naylor did. And your other option, of course, is if it hits at you or to your left, then you advance.
Well, the Mariners got back in this game in the 6th inning thanks to Luke Raley on this hanging breaky ball.
Yeah, after a couple of walks, Luke Raley jumps on this slider right in the heart of the plate, and he puts it right in the heart of the right field seats.
3-run home run from Raley. Crawford a go-ahead 2-run homer the same inning. Raley is done for the night. He gets lifted here. Connor Joe bats for him, and Joe grounds this foul.
Raley was just 1 for 17 until that 3-run homer.
Now, fly ball can give the Mariners a 2-run lead here. Time call. on an 0-2. A double by Naylor, now at third. Single by Refsnyder. 1 out, 2 on.
And this is the battle here if you're the hitter, right? You're looking to hit a ball in the air to the big part of the yard. Bummer's a ground ball pitcher looking to get the ground ball. Who's going to make that mistake? And can Joe get one up in the air to drive in Naylor?
The 1-2. Back foot breaking ball misses. 2-2. How much does Joe's mindset and approach change with 2 strikes?
He's still looking for something elevated. You're protecting. You want to put the ball in play because a well-placed ground ball will get the job done as well. Just want to stay away from the double play.
Missing down and in again. It's a full count.
Putting together a good at-bat right here. Laying off those tough pitches.
Mariners trying to play add-on in the 7th. On a 3-2. It's a walk. He just couldn't find that spot down and in, and Joe took every time. They've got him loaded.
It looked like Bummer was trying to go for the strikeout, and with Young in the on-deck circle, the lefty. But credit Joe for not going after a pitch out of the strike zone.
Carrasco, right-hander, veteran, warming up. Garver would bat next. Here is Cole Young, left on left. Now what a chance here for the Mariners. 1 out, bags packed. Just finds the corner. 0-2. One out, runners on the round. Well, Young has been so impressive this year against lefties. Even with that number coming down a little bit. 286 and a pair of homers. Another 0-2. Not close. That sweeper really fooled him. 2 down.
This is a good pitch right here. Big sweeper starting in on the inside part of the plate. And sweeping outside of the strike zone.
Well, Weiss is going to his bullpen. He's got the veteran righty Carlos Carrasco ready to go. Pitching change. Bases loaded, 2 outs for the Mariners.
Wendy's went back to the
May 18th and 19th against the White Sox. It's a 2-day Josh Naylor bobblehead giveaway. You've got 2 chances to snag Naylor's first bobblehead as a Mariner thanks to Western Washington Toyota dealers. Mariners.com/tickets to get yours. Well, we said this more than once tonight. The Mariners have the bases loaded. They got a chance to really open this one up. They're facing the veteran right-hander Carlos Carrasco, making just his 2nd appearance this year. Carrasco, the longtime Cleveland starter, now 39 years old.
That ERA just over 7 over 45 2/3 innings, 17 walks and 34 strikeouts.
He's facing Mitch Garver. Ball 1. Garver walked his last time up. The Mariners have walked 8 times. That slider fools him 1-1.
Yeah, the veteran righty will throw his changeup 40% of the time. That slider that we just saw there, 30%. Also a sinker.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Garver hits this right to third. Riley, Johnny on the spot, and the Mariners leave him loaded.
And the blue moon.
You can memorialize your favorite Mariners moments with a commemorative ticket. You can buy customizable tickets personalized with your exact seating location for games like this past Saturday's Randy Johnson number retirement. You can go to mariners.com/commemorate to get yours. Connor Joe takes over in right field, replacing Luke Raley. This will be a 1+ for Ferrer. Left on left with Olson. Dan Wilson is ready to move beyond this point with a couple of right-handers coming up after Olson, protecting a 1-run lead. .97 past the bat of Olson. 0-2. Dan has Bizzardo warming up. Now this is a new time for the Mariners bullpen. You're down 2 critical arms. Spireland's on the injured list today. Brash recently on the IL. Lofted towards the corner. Rosarena is right there. And he makes a 2-hand squeeze, and a dangerous bat is retired. And Dan Wilson's on his way out. So Bizzardo will have the rest of the 8th, trying to keep this lead for Munoz in the 9th. We've got a pitching change. Mariners playing from in front.
To show.
Mariners lead by 1 here in the 8th. Today is another Mariners value game where fans could get into the door for less than $12. Don't worry, the Mariners have more value games, including next homestand, when all 3 games of this series with the White Sox are value games, May 18th through the 20th. And while you're here for value games, yeah, you should also check out the value menu, featuring 21 items starting at just $3. The Mariners have brought back some fan favorites from last year, a few brand new offerings, including items from Ivar's, Ballard Pizza, Samari Bar, and more. The Mariners 2026 value beers lineup is bigger and better than ever as well. The Mariners have 15 options there. Go get tickets at mariners.com/value. Guys.
Yeah, great combo there. Value nights and the value menu. Dubon is the first to face Bizzardo, who takes over with 1 out of the bases empty in the 8th. Ball to strike.
Bizzardo making his 17th appearance this season. He's given up only 2 runs to go along with 11 strikeouts and only 5 walks. Bizzardo has that good 2-seam fastball. 95 miles an hour running in on the hands of the right-handed hitters.
Two.
That sweeper just missing the outside corner.
A wave and a miss. Goes flailing after a fastball. 2 down.
Well, after seeing that big slow sweeper just missing, he comes back with the 2-seamer on the outside corner. Could not have been thrown any better. As you see Dubon just kind of waving at this one as he swings in.
So 2 down now. Dangerous bat in Riley. Riley homering his last time up. It was part of the 3 solo homer 6th inning for Atlanta. Mariners scored 5 unanswered after that. Hit hard past Crawford. 2-out single from Riley. Tying run is aboard.
Well, Riley has hit some balls hard here this evening. This one, no exception. Takes that 2-seam fastball and rips it right past J.P. Crawford.
That was 107 off the bat. Now facing a lefty in Yastrzemski. Mariners are in a position now where there is not a clear-cut new leverage arm. Right? The Mariners have lost the names we've already mentioned, Inspire and Brash. You only have a handful now of truly experienced and tested leverage relievers that Dan Wilson can go to. Luzardo is one of them, and he gets the pop up here to J.P. Crawford, and he puts it away. Luzardo helps complete a scoreless 8th inning.
Tired of rock.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
You know, somebody had the idea of tracking win-loss record by copyright. Puts a little more pressure on you.
I want to have a say then when they play.
Leo Rivas leads things off, 1 ball and 1 strike.
So far, I like it tonight.
Mariners took the lead. They scored all 5 of their runs in the 6th inning.
Well, in this late in the game, you sure would love to see an insurance run or 2 be put up on the board off of Carrasco.
Back foot breaking ball strikes out Rivas. Here's J.P. Crawford. J.P. takes inside. Mariners have more walks than hits tonight. But J.P. has one of the big hits, the go-ahead 2-run home run back in the 6th inning. He's also walked 2 times. On the ground, flattens out for Olsen. 2 away. Base is empty for Julio. Ball 1 to Julio. Julio has walked, now looking for his first hit. The chest of Riley on a late hop. That ball was smoked. Looked like it maybe caught his hand too, the way he's shaking it.
Well, we've seen some hard hit balls to the third basemen on both sides, and this one here is a missile. That second hop just jumps up and bites Riley. Looks like he gets him right on that right thumb. Ouch.
.109 off the bat. That's an infield base hit for Julio. Naylor takes in ball 1. 2-hit night for Josh Naylor, including a double his last time up.
Like to see another one of those doubles, and Julio carrying the mail all the way around from first. Josh has had a couple of those swings where he's right on that pitch, but the pitch is a little bit too elevated out of the strike zone. But you can tell by those swings that his timing is back.
Two outs, Julio at first. 1-run Mariners lead. There he goes on to second. This ball is foul. That would have been it.
Yes. Julio was running on the pitch.
What do you use to tell if it's a hit and run or if a guy is just stealing and batter puts it in play? The cues that you look at?
Yes, just the way he's taking that lead. He had a big lead on that last pitch. Let's see if he shortens it up here. I don't believe that was a hit and run. I believe that was a straight up steal. And Josh just saw a pitch that he liked. We were trying to get a little rhythm over there on his movement going towards second base.
Popped up. Riley handles this one for out number 3. All right, it is on to the 9th inning. The Mariners playing in front by a run. Munoz getting set to take over.
And since
we take you back to the 6th inning. The Mariners with the go-ahead run at the plate. J.P. Crawford, a go-ahead 2-run home run. It was way up there.
Ball had a lot of hang time as it drops in the seats out there in right field.
Andres Munoz takes over.
Munoz looking to shut this one down. He's got 9 earned runs over 13 innings. This is his 15th appearance so far this season. 21 strikeouts and 6 walks.
Facing a pinch hitter, Michael Harris II, who's been blistering hot. He's been dealing with a quad injury. It's been prohibitive of him in the field, but he has been able to bat. He got spun around like a top there, 0-2. I mean, Harris has been on it as of late, even with that injury recently.
Right now he's riding a 15-game hitting streak where he's hitting .455.
Plenty of power to go along with it. 0-2. Does not go.
Here's the last pitch. It's a slider down out of the strike zone. Munoz trying to get him to chase.
Struck him out. 1 away.
He comes right back with that same pitch. This one a little bit more elevated, closer to the strike zone, but it was enough to get him to fish. As Harris swings right over the top.
Here's Eli White. Strike 1.
100 miles an hour.
Strike 2.
A little backup slider right here. That ball never really does slide, but it goes down as he gets the foul ball for strike 2.
Strike three called.
So hard, so difficult for the opposing hitters to cover a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and then an 84-mile-an-hour slider that's located down and away right on that outside corner. Eli White unable to get that bat off his shoulders. Munoz looking for one more out.
The only other lefty on the Braves bench, veteran Dom Smith, bats for Jorge Mateo. Just a one-run lead for Munoz to preserve. Two and 0. Smith lays off a couple of sliders. Line the opposite way, base hit. Dom Smith keeps the game going for the Braves and turns the lineup card over.
There's a fastball elevated right out over the plate. Dom Smith puts a nice swing on this ball as he drives it over into left field to keep the Braves alive.
Azócar takes over. Jose Azócar running for Smith. Garver and Naylor talking things over with Munoz. Well, here is Drake Baldwin, who tonight hit his 9th home run of the season already. Batting well over 300 coming into tonight. Dangerous bat here, representing the go-ahead run at the plate. Strike one. Remember, if anything's close, the Braves are out of challenges. Strike two.
See if he comes back with that same pitch or try to put him away.
It's in the dirt. Azócar takes off and he's into second. Tying run in scoring position now.
Comes back with that slider a little bit down in the strike zone. With Azócar running, Mitch Garver more just thinking about trying to keep that ball in front of him.
Base hit can tie it now. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Braves down to their final strike. Munoz, a 1-2. Ground ball, weakly hit right there. Cole Young under first base, and the Mariners win. On a night where they crawl from the back seat into the driver's seat. 5 unanswered to take game 1 against Atlanta.
I tell you what, after those 4 solo home runs by the Braves, T-Mobile was pretty quiet, pretty dead. But the Mariners finally took advantage of a few walks, and Luke Raley running into a hanging slider, hitting a 3-run home run, putting them back in the game. But boy, it was J.P. Crawford, who just has a penchant for hitting home runs late in the game. He's got 9 in his career that he has put the Mariners ahead 6th inning or later. And tonight, it ended up being the game winner.
Well, after that 3-game sweep to the hands of the Royals and this homestand starting off with a big thud, you welcome the hottest team in baseball to T-Mobile Park tonight. The winningest team of the majors, the Atlanta Braves. Now the Mariners end up taking game 1 5-4, the final score. It was Luke Raley with a 3-run home run in the 6th inning.
That baby just hanging out there saying, hit me. And that's exactly what Luke Raley does. as he puts the Yams back into this ball game and just woke up everybody here at T-Mobile.
Julio taking a beat to sign for some fans. Raley got the Mariners back in it. Crawford, the game-winning home run. Now the Mariners take the first of 3 against the first-place Atlanta Braves. Time now for the Fire TV winning moment. Ange?
All right, guys, thanks. Here with Luke Raley. And Luke, you get the team back into the game with one swing of the bat. Take me through your at-bat, please.
Yeah, I mean, he was having some control issues. Walked Randy and Dom right before. Gotten a good count. I was looking for something up in the zone. The next pitch and pulled it foul. I was out in front of something hard, so I was looking for something soft and got a good one to hit.
You knock J.R. Ritchie out of the game. You see that curveball out of his hand, and it starts up and away. What do you have to remind yourself when you see that coming out of his hand?
Yeah, you just got to be patient and let it get there and not try to do too much, and it worked out.
All right, this Atlanta Braves team comes in here, the best team in baseball. You guys had scuffled in the last series. What does it mean to take game 1 of a series like this?
Yeah, it's huge, especially being down 4-0. Or 5-0, I guess, and it's great to, have some resilience, come back and win that ball game.
All right, lastly, before I let you go, we saw you and Edgar Martinez. You gave him a little hug after the home run. So what was wrapped up within that home run? Yeah,
I mean, been scuffling a little bit at the plate, and, I've just been talking to Edgar a lot, and we made some adjustments yesterday and win the game with those today, and it worked out.
Congratulations. Thanks so much, Luke. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. No problem.
All right. Luke Raley is going to grab the Trident, go have some fun with the fans here at T-Mobile Park as the Mariners take game 1. Nobody in baseball has played more one-run games than these Mariners, and they win another one-run game tonight.